for me to look at those. Thank you. It's going to be difficult for me to look at those on Friday and get them sent in to KWRI. So if you guys could get them done no later than Wednesday and over to me so I can look at them Wednesday night and Thursday and then get that off our plate, that would be amazing. So I don't have any follow-up with that. Awesome.
Hey, Georgia.
Yeah,
Hey, sorry, I sent an email before that we haven't received Lakeland's.
I know, but it was
Uh,
we resent it. You got a new link.
yeah, I just searched my email and it's not. There's no
Well,
DocuSign.
you don't get it, Chris. It goes to
Oh,
Katie
just
first.
paying you. Oh, okay, okay. Enough
It
said.
goes to
Sorry.
the that's fine. It goes to the MCA first. Then it goes, then once she does her thing, then it goes to you, and then you do
Okay,
your thing, and
gotcha.
then it comes to me.
Okay, no problem.
Now,
Got it.
here's something else, guys. That's okay, Chris. Thank you for acknowledging that. Here's the other thing. When you go in and you get this email that says your link expired, there's a place in the email that says um, reorder it or whatever it says. Link expired, request another one. Just request another one. I sent an email to compliance today, and so they should have all been resent today. Again, this doesn't have all of you, but whoever this entails. So just if you could get those done, great. All right. So Friday should be an exciting day for all of us to be together. And don't forget, you have some agents that are coming and leaving at about 12 or 12:30 when the first half is over. Then all of leadership is staying along with whomever you selected, your ALC, top agents, anybody that you selected that is staying over for the second half with Jason. Then you will move into the cafeteria area, which is across from the hall that we're having the event in. You'll have your Chick-fil-A lunch. We only have about 30 minutes because Jason wants to get back. And then we'll come back into the room again. And then you'll finish up that hour and a half or 2 hours with Jason. And then I have some things to share with you. And then we will be excused. So I'm going to say it might be 3:30 that you will be getting out of there, just so you know, but don't hold me to that. Okay. That kind of takes care of that one. Thank you so much for all the budgets. Ashley and I have been reviewing those, so we will be sending all of that information out to you as well. Now let me show you something else here that I need your help with. This is kind of more of an informational call today, and then I'll get to some other things that we need to share. So can you guys see my screen okay? Okay, and then I'm going to get to our fun thing, which is our Canva contest. Our Canva contest. Okay, two things you're going to get. One from Ashley. You're going to be getting the goals for the month of December. Those that request, the Google Sheet is going to be coming out probably this afternoon. So be sure you fill out your Google spreadsheet, excuse me, your Google form with all of your information, because then we track the Google, the numbers for the month of December. But I want to share something with you that's really, really important, because we as the region need to keep John Clyde and KW notified of what the numbers are on a regular basis. And our methodology of doing that is through the Slack report. Okay. Now, I think most of you took off Tuesday or Wednesday, which is fine. And that was the last day because the last day of work was on the 28th. Okay. But we still needed to get numbers. I had to still send in numbers on the 28th to KWRI. So as of the 28th, I'm just going to kind of show you the importance of keeping these numbers updated, even though you were off. If we had updated them, I kind of would have had a better feel for some of the numbers. As of earlier today, these were all the market centers that were still outstanding with end of the month numbers. But as it stood this morning, we were at 135 and 0 net, with all these market centers still needing to report from Wednesday, which was actually your last work day. Now, let me show you where we are. And this is how important our goals are, everybody. All right, so November 28th, we had our top 5 market centers. Now, this isn't month end close yet, so we still have to get those numbers. We had Ocala, Celebration, Tampa Central, Gainesville, and St. John's, our top 5 market centers. And great job, Ocala. They had 42 appointments over their goal. And his goal for gross was 8. He did 10. Great job, Tim. And guess, look at this. His goal for net was 5, and he hit his goal for net. So Tim, looks like you might be the #1 market center this month. So great job, and great job in hitting your number. So also congratulations to the top 5 market centers for their appointments. All right, let's check out gross. Again, this is not month end close, but since you're reporting these numbers, I have to assume this is pretty close. Again, Ocala was #1. Lake Nona, check that out, Lara and Liliana. You were your goal was 11, you got 9, so good job. And your net goal was 4, you got 2, so good job there. Jax Beach, your goal was 8, you got 7. Central goal was 8, you got 7. Metro's goal was 10, they got 7. Celebration, good job with 6. Southside, look at that. Hope, look, check that out. Your goal was 5 and you got 6. Great job there, Hope. And then Orlando South, 10, we got 6. St. John's, good job, Suzanne. Your goal was 6, you got 6. Venice, Omar, your goal was 8, you got 6. Southwest, the goal was 8, you got 5. Tampa Central, goal was 10, you got 5. And Winter Park, you got 5. Winter Park, goal was 8. So these were our top 5 market centers. So good job. And then for net, hold on, let me go over to the net. Let's see where we did here. Ocala, #1, and hit its goal. Got good job. Central, look at there. They said 1 and they got 5. Metro said goal was 7. They got 5. Venice's goal was 4. Only missed it by 1, Omar, was 4. Winter Park's goal was 5. They don't even have a team leader yet. And 4. So good job there. Celebration, 2. Goal was 2 and they got 3. Jax Beach, good job, Joe. Goal was 3 and got 3. Orange Park, goal was 3, got 3. South, look at this. Goal was 3, got 3. St. John's, goal was 4, got 3. I'll take it. Claremont, goal was 4, got 2. Where am I? New Tampa, goal was 3, got 2. Lake Nona, goal was 4, got 2. Siesta Key, goal was 5, got 2. These are our top 5, by the way. Look at there. South Tampa, goal was 1, got 2. And they're in the middle of new changes and moves and everything going on. All right. Daytona Beach and Inverness, looks like their goal was 3, got 1. Orlando Waterford, goal was 7, got 1. St. Augustine and Tallahassee, goal was 2, got 1. Now, this was as of this morning before I had all these market centers that still needed to report. I want to show you the importance of getting your numbers put in on time, because look here, we were net 0, which I was thrilled with net 0. Okay. And unfortunately, we had some updates between Wednesday and Friday. And I think right now we are actually, as of 1 o'clock, net -11. So guys, here's my request to you. Do this for Ashley. Do this for Ashley. If we want to really show her how we can do things. Okay, see, right now we're -11, if you guys can see that. So it looks like we're actually going to be, according to this, I still have 1 market center outstanding. Looks like we're going to be -11, gross 137. We increased it by 2 more, and -11. So guys, let's be really, really, as you can see on this report, some of you did really, really good with your goals. And you know what? I'm going to say that 5 or more gross is what we should be shooting for. We shouldn't really be having any goals below 5, unless you're really a small market center, but most of you have the ability to do 5. Okay. I know that we've got some situations like Gulf Beaches, they're just getting relaunched, and we've got a couple of other things happening, but really we should all be 5 or greater. So let's really check out, I'm going to be sending this out to you, check out what your goals are for appointments, gross and net, And let's be really, really succinct in really working to make December the month to remember. Let's finish out this year strong and really, really work to hit our goals and to have some great numbers. And you can see here, our goal for appointments was 999. We did 655, so we were 66% of our goal. Our gross goal was 277. We did 140, so we were 51% of our goal. And our net goal was 135. And as you know, we're really like negative 11. So we're really below that. So if you could really check this out as you do your Google Sheet, really, really think about what your goals are going to be and what is it that you need to do this month to make those goals happen. Now, who was on the leadership call today and heard about what the Northwest Arkansas Market Center was doing? You know what? Those are all things I've heard that we do. But you know what? Like the list and calling everybody and sharing it with everybody and all that kind of stuff. They had some great things, I think some great reminders, but all things that I know that you all do. But here's one thing that they didn't talk about, that I was with a market center the other day and they were talking about this. And I thought, you know what? That's something that I need to remind all of you to do. Let me stop sharing for a minute and then I'll go back to sharing. And then maybe Hope or somebody that's Mike, somebody, maybe somebody else can kind of talk to me about some of the things that you've done as a top team leader to be able to save your people. But here's one thing that stood out to me. This agent, this was actually a coaching client, because you know I'm a MAPS coach and I have coaching clients in other parts of the area. And what he said was, it said this agent that knew him, loved him, never thought they were going to leave, but found out that they were, he was just checking in with her, and then he found out that she was talking to another company. So he went in and he had a meeting with her. And this is just a great reminder, everybody. Had a meeting with her, found out that even though she had great GCI and she was a capper and all this and that she was spending all of her money, spending her money on her grandkids, spending her money on her house, spending her money on whatever. Didn't have any money left over. She had paid her taxes, but she didn't have any income. She didn't have any money left over. So, Coldwell Banker reached out to her, of course, and was going to write her a $40,000 check. And she said, this will get me out of debt. I can go buy some Christmas presents. I mean, things were like that bad because her business was down a little bit. So she wasn't getting some of the revenue she had gotten in the past. And so what he did was he went in and he did a spreadsheet with her and he showed her over the last 5 years where her income was, and went in and did her kind of like a life by design. What are your living expenses? What do you need for your grandkids? Where are you spending your money? And, showed her, look, it's not us. It's not Keller Williams. Going to Coldwell Banker is not going to resolve your issue. You're just going to have to pay income tax on that $40,000. And that's just a short-term fix to a kind of more of a long-term problem. Does that make sense? Spending problem. So he sat down with her and had a consulting appointment, made some kind of adjustments, probably from an economic perspective, and probably said, you can have your next few deals at 100% or something, give her a little bit more reprieve, whatever it might have been. But you don't want to lose a capper. But the thing is, she was leaving for that $40,000 check, of which after taxes, she would be lucky if she got $20,000, right? And then he showed her over a long period of time how over the course of the next year, 2 years, 3 years, she was going to be repaying that money back with interest, with the way that they collect it with royalties and 20%. Hope I see you shaking your head like you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? So it's not, the $40,000 save sounds great, but that $40,000 being a capper and improving your business was probably going to cost her, Hope, $80,000 over the next 5 years versus the $40,000 she was going to get. Does that make sense to everybody? So it made me really think about and realize, plus the golden handcuffs, you're right, Marietta. I know that we make these care calls and all these things and whatever, but are we really, really looking at somebody's business? Are we really sitting down with them and caring about them from the standpoint of, and by the way, these are all ALC exercises, nothing we haven't talked about before, but just things that I want to remind you about is the importance of, gee, yes, their business looks great, but there could be so many underlying issues that are going on in somebody's life that we don't know about. Just like Ashley. I mean, you guys might not have known that Ashley was not here or whatever. And then here we've got a brain bleed and somebody that was critically, and you don't know all the things and everything that's happening in people's lives. So Hope or Mike or somebody, any wisdom to any of these things? And what did you guys do like for care calls or just making sure? Because here's the thing, I want us to have a great end of the year. And I don't want you losing people this year, but most importantly, starting off next year in January with people not paying dues and doing things in January or February and losing more people. So what can we do now that we've got this whole month ahead of us that we can really think about, how do we save some of these people? So Hope, I know I'm catching you off guard, but I know you're a champion and you can probably give us some wisdom coming from a top market center and being a top team leader.
What I'll share is I'll just double down on that very statement around knowing your people. Oftentimes, when they show up in your office and they say they're leaving or they're struggling, it very rarely has anything to do with us as a market center or us as a home for their license, our economic model, especially if they're a producer. It really usually is an underlying issue, for lack of a better word, an issue. And it's the relationship piece. It sounds cliche. It sounds like Velveeta cheesy, as I say. And it really is about knowing your people. You don't have to be best friends with all of them. And it is about being in relationship with them. It is about being underfoot. It is about being present. I think one of the biggest things in our leadership teams, and I'll say it to team leaders as I am one, is we put our head down and we kind of go to work, and we go to work with the business of the job, and we forget that the role and the job itself is also the relationship with those people. So it really is the how are you, not just how are you on the superficial level, but how are you? When's the last time you asked them really about their child, their dog, their grandchild, their parent, the number of people who have things going on in their lives? It's just a simple question, and take a minute to go like another question deep rather than just, oh, you're good, I'm good too. No, pay attention to what's going on in their lives, and everybody on the leadership team doing that. So when something comes up in conversation, it can be shared in such a manner that people can genuinely reach out and check in on those people. This time of year with your cappers, anyone in production should have a business plan in place for next year. They should be able to answer that question. Hey, do you have your business plan in place for next year? What is your goal, both personal and professional? Personal and professional, a professional goal, a personal goal, and then honestly, something fun in their life. Those are questions that everybody can off the cuff be saying to each other in the hallways, other agents. It's a team meeting, it's the front desk, it's a productivity coaching question to make sure people are plugged in. And as you learn that about people, it's the follow up. It's in January or it's February. Hey, where are you at on that? It's also those layers of accountability that make a huge difference. And then offering time to meet with them. I'm a huge advocate for being in front of the agents. It takes a huge time block and it's a huge time commitment to do that. But being in a coaching and consulting relationship with, let's say, the top half of the market center or top third of the market center, time block that out. You should be seeing them it may take every week, it might take once a month, and you should be able to answer those questions. Where are they? Where are we going? And how's it going to get there? I'm a huge, huge believer in that. The conversation is the relationship.
100%. Mike, I'm going to come to you for a minute. And Gene Rivers, I don't want to put you on the spot, but I have a question. Are you available next Monday during this time to do 30 minutes of the lid?
Yes, ma'am. I think so. I'll double check that, but I think so.
That would be great because I think that would be really, really important. And then I'll share with you why next week will be important in a minute. So if you could let me know, that would be awesome. Mike, what are your thoughts? And then, by the way, anybody else, just raise your hand and chime in. I'm just, because Hope and Mike are kind of newer to our region, I just thought you might like to hear from them. But I know all of you have some great insights.
So just on the whole retention piece, and I say this because all of us are on this call, like for so many different roles. We had this conversation in our Jacksonville offices this morning, on our stand-up call. It is everybody's responsibility to set appointments. It's everybody's responsibility to grow. It's everybody's responsibility to care for our agents. And so don't think that there is not a person on this call who cannot make a difference in retaining somebody in the market center. And if you have a special relationship with them, you have all the more reason, just as Hope was talking about the power of the relationship, you have all the more reason and responsibility to make sure that they feel connected to what they need to do to improve whatever situation they're in. And after we're all committed to that, I mean, when we divided up rosters, everybody was making calls. Our front desk folks were making calls. Our PCs were everybody makes calls to the roster. And we shake it up all the time so that nobody is getting the same list over and over again because we want them to feel connected to the entire leadership team. Another thing creatively that we had done too, for retention, because Georgia, you had mentioned the concern about board dues. If you
Right.
have an agent who has been struggling, that has been in conversation, that is willing to do the things, even like Hope mentioned, having a business plan, having some formal calendared coaching, whether maybe they're in PC and they've been in a top producer in the past, they've slid backwards, maybe they're a mid-grade, low-level capper. Be creative with them. I have selectively in the past, we have paid board dues and taken it from future closings, especially if they have something on the book. If they're that tight on money, then they feel like you're connected to them. That's not in every single situation, but you have to approach every situation as, hey, what can we do to help this particular agent and what impact would they have on the market center if they were to leave with their business? Because it's not just their business. They're in relationship with other people. It could cause other people to leave with them. So you got to analyze each person. But if you're not in a relationship with them, like Hope said, you cannot have those kind of in-depth conversations and be creative of how to save somebody.
I was on a call this morning with a coaching guy, and he said, why do I need to know what they want to do for the next 5 years? And I said, because our goal is to think big, act bold, live large, right? And I said, you don't want to be like everybody else and just help them reach a goal for the end of this year. I said, the reason I ask, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Hope you remember that when we were having our interview, right? Is that you want to know where these people want to be so you can help them build the team, so you can help them with buying investment properties, so you can help them pay off their bills, so you can help them raise their kids. Whatever their dreams are, what's important, and then it's the vehicle of listing and selling real estate that's going to accomplish that, right? But
We
if you
say,
don't know where they're going to be, where they want to do, then kind of like with you, Mike, when we talked, and then we help you get there, right?
yeah, and Georgia, when you say that, y'all, for 5 years, we say all the time, we're so honored to be in business with you. But then we don't know anything about their business.
Yeah,
So they don't believe us. They don't think that we really care. So if you're not having those conversations with your folks, it's impossible to know how to help them get where they want to be in 5 years.
right. And if you need some, one small idea, we do use tech tools to keep up with agents' monthly production. Well, Damien, why don't you talk about what you do? Why don't you go off mute and tell everybody what you do so we don't have to just put it there. Tell everybody what
Okay.
you do.
Yeah. I mean, use Corded. It's so simple. Just to keep up with people. I do it with recruits as well, and I know their broker is probably not doing it, which is why I do it. And that is, you had an amazing month. Congratulations. And it's usually the response is sometimes I did, like they're not even paying attention to their own numbers. So, and then if we get them and recruit them to KW, then we keep doing those texts. We don't want to send texts while they're not at
Right.
KW and then leave them out to dry when they get here. So it's a fun text to make, and I just couldn't imagine an agent doing that well and nobody noticing.
Yeah, it's some of the simplest things that you can do by saying, hey, your business is up 10%. Hey, you had a great month last month. And imagine that you're doing that and keeping track of that each month with a recruit that you're constantly letting them know where they are. You know, one of the biggest things is that I used to call and say, "Hey, did you know you're number 5 in the MLS? Did you know that you're number 1 in the Northeast MLS, or like in Stellar, it's really large, but you could say, did you know out of the entire Stellar MLS, you're number 50? Now, that sounds like not a big deal, but that's a big deal out of all of those people, right, Damien? But they might be number 1 in the Lakeland board, but they're number 50 in the entire board.
Yeah, it's a fun call to make. Sometimes, I mean, who's really tracking their own numbers to see if they're the top in their office? And I
Right.
know we think we do that they do that, but my feedback is that they don't know they're number 1 in their office. They don't know they're number 5 and they're in the top 5. That they're had $1 million month. That they had a record month. It's not the easiest information to pull up, but it's what we do. We
Right.
look at numbers all the time, so it's just easy. And especially inside the office, we gotta let our agents know when they're doing well.
Hey,
Now,
just
here,
plussing what Damon just said, he is so
yeah,
right about those lists. And something I know a lot of people do this. We'll post the list, the top agents who did $1 million, wrote $1 million, list $1 million, closed $1 million. Like we do those lists all the time. But it makes so much of a difference if you write a note on that and give it to them, or take a picture of it and circle it and screenshot it to them or something. That is going the extra step in the relationship building with those agents, because they're not necessarily maybe looking at the list, and getting a personal message from a team leader, an OP, and MCA about their performance in that is so much more than just publishing the list.
right. 100%. And let me tell you something else. We're talking about the people that are doing well. But let me give you an experience, okay? So Dick Dillingham and I used to have a system when I was a team leader that I would be calling people, and Dick would do this thing where he would voicemail people. It was called an all-call system, but he would call and leave them a message, then I would do something else. So we kind of tag teamed each other. But we had this guy, his name was Ron Brown. And Ron came into the office one day and I said, "Hey, Ron, how you doing? I haven't seen you for a while, blah, 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 blah." I'm kind of telling on myself here. He says, "Well, I'm doing good now." But he said, "You called and gave me an acknowledgement that how good we were doing." I go, "Yeah, congratulations on your month." But he said, "You know what? You didn't call me for the last 4 months. That's when I really needed you." And so what happened was, and both Dick and I, what happened was we were recognizing all the good stuff when the agents were doing the good stuff, but we didn't recognize them when they needed us the most. He said, "You didn't call me for the last 3 to 4 months. I don't remember exactly now. But he said, that's when I needed you the most, because my wife and I were having marital problems and this and that. And, we went into a whole thing. But guys, if you've got, first of all, if you got top producers, kind of like this agent that I was telling you was having financial difficulty, and the OP and the team leader didn't recognize it. She looked fine. Her business was off a little bit, but her business was off just enough that it was causing her financial distress. She kept spending without earning. So don't always just check everybody's doing great. Check everybody that's business is off as well. And just make sure that, you're asking maybe sometimes a tough question or something. "Hey, how are things going? I just want to make sure financially everything's going good," or whatever kind of words you want to use that feel good to you. Use those words, because they want you to know that you recognize it and that you're caring, and that you see that maybe there's something that that they may need you for. Okay. So this is a great time to do this for internally and externally as well, because you can see how everybody's doing, end of the year, and maybe where their business is off, and internally and externally, just like Damien said. Hey, Caroline, where are you? I saw you here, but I don't know if she just left for a minute. Caroline, are you back?
I'm here.
Caroline, can you, I was looking for the thing that you did. Can you kind of show everybody, can you share your screen and show everybody what you did in your little book?
Okay, which book are we talking about? Sorry.
The one that you did, the AI thing, where you did all the things that they need to do every month or something. Do you remember from my last call? You took not the idea. I said
Holiday Sphere thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So here's what I loved about Caroline. On the last call, I said, "Guys, find an item of value every month that you can give to your agents to do something with, because they don't know what to do." And so Caroline, that's what you told me anyway. You took what I said, Caroline, and you made a book, right?
Yes.
Can
And
you
I
show?
can put it in the link. I'm on my iPad right now, so I don't think I'm able to screen
Okay,
share.
very good. Put it
But
put
I
it in
do
the
have
link.
it here. So I just basically put it through AI and I made like a booklet for it too. But I just ask AI questions like, hey, I'm in the Sarasota, Bradenton, Lakewood Ranch area. I'm looking to make basically a playbook for the agents on how they're able to touch their database and dig into and making contacts. So it kind of gave us a step-by-step, like holiday home prep checklist, dive into the database, the low-hanging fruit. So it kind of teaches the agents too. And then it gives them daily checklists and making it work and like items. But I will put the drive in there so that everyone has it too, like the link
All
for
right.
the.
So I didn't know. Are you willing to share it? Is that okay that you're happy to
Yeah,
share
I
that?
don't mind sharing it because I mean, honestly, anyone could do it because AI made it. So it's just you have to if you get AI to help you make the prompt for you, like, hey, I'm looking to you talk to it before you put the prompt in there.
Right.
So that's kind of what I did was like, hey, make me a prompt and this is what I'm looking to do. So it made it so much easier for me. And then Gamma made it so easy. So yeah, I don't mind sharing it.
Awesome. So we're going to send that out too. But honestly, I think next year, if you guys think about a monthly item of value, something that they can send out to their clients to be able to, do the 36 touch or something to call. Like for instance, let me just ask you right now, what would you give to your agents to say it's the end of the year? Let's make a phone call. What kind of script would you want your agents? What do you think an agent, some of you are agents, what would you be calling about right now that would be an easy call to say, hey, this is George over at Keller Williams. I just want to thank you for the business you sent me this year. And this is just a friendly reminder about something that would be of value to a client. What do you think that might be? Well, it could be what are your real estate plans for 2026? That might be something. Homestead. Okay. What about Ray's tax thing that he does? I can't remember what that's called. He's at FSO right now, so he's not on the call. But think about portability. Portability could be a good conversation. Jean, can you think of anything that might be of interest to a buyer or sell to anybody that could be a client that we could give to agents to call their clients about?
Sure. About investing in real estate, about being ready to refinance should the rates go down one or two more times before the end of the year. I mean, a lot of things you could talk about.
Right.
Get an opinion of value on any piece of real estate that you own before year's end to make strategic decisions about your equity position.
There you go. So guys, but here's the thing, the agents don't know what to say. Your top people do, but your middle people don't. Okay. And your lower level people don't. So if you create some kind of dialogue, we're not supposed to use the word script. If you create some kind of conversation piece that you might be able to give your agents to say, hey, here's 3 or 4 things that you can use to call your clients for the year end, then you're giving them some value pieces. Okay. Jean, were you able to check your schedule for next Monday? Are you good?
I'm good.
Here's the reason why I'm going to have Jean do that. I'll have Ben probably lead the call, get it started off. But I'm going to be on a cruise next week. So I'm leaving on Sunday for a cruise. And so I was looking for something that you guys, a filler for next Monday. And Jean, that's perfect because what better, the reason I want Jean to do this is.
Enjoy your cruise, Georgia.
Thank you, Jean. Thank you, Jean. So the thing is that Jean is going to take you through, like what kind of money do you want to have when you retire and your income? What kind of investment properties, your living expenses, your investment properties, and then debt. He's going to take you through that entire exercise. We'll have it recorded so then you guys can go and master this. But Jean, this is a great conversation for any of one of our team leaders to have with any one of their agents, right?
Sure. Absolutely.
By the way, it's a great conversation that if you, depending on your relationship with your clients, it's a great conversation because you can somewhat have that conversation with your clients, Gene, to be able to say, how can I help you invest in real estate? If you share some information with me, I might be able to help you plan for that over the course of the next 5 to 10 years, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
Because most of these people don't have a financial analyst or a financial guy or anybody, and some of them probably are not even as basic as we could be in helping somebody invest in real estate and fulfill their real estate dreams. So awesome. Yay, yay, yay. So I'm excited about that. All right. So I shared with you the final numbers for November. You're going to be getting your goal submission for December, so please do that. You also, let me just, when we wrap up here, let me give you a couple of other things that we need to do. So we shared that information. All right. Now that you've done your budgets and for most of you, I'm assuming, have completed your paint by numbers, you're going to be getting this spreadsheet because we need to know now your gross and net goals. And these are due to us by the 10th because we've got to get them to Keller Williams. So you're going to be getting, I think Ashley and I can't remember what we decided. Yes, no, we decided to send this out. So here's what's going to be important. Anything in gray is going to be frozen, so you can't make any changes to it. But basically, this is your annual. So let's just say that you wanted to do 360 R1 appointments, and you're going to do, maybe 80 R2 appointments. So you would be at 440. If your R1 gross was going to be 100 and your R2 gross would be 20, that would mean you're going to be bringing in 10 people or 120 for the year, your gross per month. And so you would be at a 27% conversion. Now, these are already formatted. So anything in gray is already formatted with you. That's why we're going to freeze these cells so you can't mess it up and delete it and mess it up for everybody else. Then you're going to put in your net. So maybe your net is going to be 40, and you're going to put in your company dollar, your owner's profit, and your profit share from your budget. So now that you have all of these done, you're going to put these numbers in. I understand that you may not have our final approval yet. That's fine. But just go ahead and put in any numbers you've got so we can get ahead of this. Okay. So you will be getting this spreadsheet now. Also, make sure you're not putting your numbers in on the wrong line. Okay. So watch the line and make sure you're putting your numbers in the appropriate line. So you're going to be getting that shortly. And then hold on for a second. Now, finally, our big announcement for Canva. So let me pull this up because our final numbers are going to be on December 19th. Our final numbers are going to be December 19th. So we will be doing a special announcement for this, but let me just show you where we stand. This is for the month of November, our winners for the month of November. And remember, the top three get a $50 gift card, or you get to if you don't have an MCTT, you have a gift card for the restaurant of your choice, wherever you want to eat. So don't be looking at those other things. Come on, show up here. So, oh, nuts. Whoops, I think it did it twice for me. I've been a little busy. I've been busy doing 2 jobs, which I'm happy to do. It's been a little crazy. All right, here we go. So our contest, by the way, Ashley did this, so thank you, Ashley. She's not on the call, but thank you, Ashley. Contest for Canva, current rankings. Let's check them out. All right, here we go for our November winners by percentage in the number 3 spot with 77.65%. Jack's Orange Park, Elise Torres. Yeah. Woohoo. All right, let's check out number 2 with 92.12%. Karina Millen, Orlando Lake Nona with 92.12%. And who is in the lead with 98.99%? Tyler Fox of St. John. So great job. Tyler. Woo-hoo. Great job. Okay, so I think you're only like missing Suzanne. I think you're only missing like 2 people or something like that from signing up. It was like really, really amazing. Yeah, 2. I think so. All right, let's check out by numbers. All right, by numbers, the number 3 spot with 147, Khalees Long out of Orlando Central. By the way, she's one of our newer Market Center Tech trainers, so congratulations.
Woo-hoo!
In the number 2 spot, 148. Maritza, check this out. Number 2 was 148. You guys were number 3 with 147. You just needed 2 more. 2 more, Maritza.
Khalees, you were slacking.
There you go. Kayla Morris at Jack's Beach. Whoa, check that out. Good job. All right. And in the number 1 spot with 269, Karina Millen with Lake Nona with 269. Now, let me just show you. So let me get out of here. Let me just show you. So we're going to be sending this out so you guys know there's still time. There's still time, guys, to be able to make this work. So hold on for a second. This is the total Canva. By the way, we made sure as of this morning that our numbers were accurate. So the top 3 are going to each get a $50 Amazon card. And if you don't have an MCTT, the Market Center will get a gift card to their favorite place. All right. So just check this out, everybody. Now, here's the thing. Look at this. Orlando Lake Nona, 269 out of 292. Really, really great job. Jack's Beach, 148 out of 266. Okay. Orlando Central, 147 out of 266. So you guys are in the top 3, but look at this. New Tampa, 137 out of 177. But guys, here's the thing. We've got some market centers that have a lot of agents, but not a lot of people converted. This is one of your value tools. This is one of your value tools. So let's make sure that everybody knows about this, okay? So that is your number. Here's your percentage. Again, St. John's, Lake Nona, Orange Park, good job. New Tampa, Inverness, North Claremont. So you guys can see here, but as we go down, we only have like 30% in some cases. And we got a lot of agents in these market centers. So we really need to, regardless of the contest or not, I know it ends December 19th, but I really, really want you guys to be getting this Canva in the hands of your agents and Market Center Tech trainers. You really need to be, having classes and showing this. This is part of your value proposition. So it is part of the $70 that they're paying as well. All right. I think I've covered everything. Now let me give you, oh, wait a minute. There's one other thing. Shoot, I didn't put it in here. I think we forgot. I have your calendar ready for, well, hold on for a second. Maybe I can go to it. Hold on. Where is it? Hold on for a second. I'm trying to think where she put it. I think it's in this folder. There we go. See, it's nice when systems work, isn't it? All right. Here is the calendar for 2026. So we're going to be sending this out to you shortly. Don't know why that is still showing up. There we go. All right. She updated it as of November 30th. So you have your calendar. What I'm going to say is that as accurate as this is with our regional events, it still is a little bit subject to change. Okay. But for the most part, like we know this one here is set in stone. So we know that this one is for sure. We're doing this on January 29th and 30th. This is our leadership meeting for the month of January. It is going to be in Orlando, and it's a leadership academy. Cody Gibson is coming in and teaching this course. So we know that one for sure. Leverage series, listing clinic, Market Center financials. I don't think we've covered some of these with you yet. So we're going to be getting with you and double checking on some of these things. But anything in red is our regional dates. Okay. But those are kind of subject to change a little bit. Everything in here that is a KWRI event is pretty much what they've sent to us. And so those are pretty much set in stone. It's just that we don't know what those times may be. Okay. So we will be getting this out to you. Looks like Ashley finished it for me on on Friday, or yesterday. So we should be getting this out to you this afternoon. So you guys will have that for your planning as well. Okay. All right. That's it. Let me share something else. We're going to have a call next Monday with Jean, your lid. You're going to have a call on whatever that next date is, the 15th or the 16th. That's going to be our state of the region. Then we will not have calls after that because the 22nd is, I think, that Monday. So it's going to be just too tight. And we want you guys to be able to finish out your year and enjoy the last 2 weeks of the month. So we're not going to be having any calls after the state of the region, but just so you know, for calendar purposes. Okay. All right. Anybody have any other questions? MCAs, we will have a great call on Wednesday. I will see you then because you're going to do transmittal today, tomorrow, and it should be finished tomorrow. So I will see you all on Wednesday. You guys are amazing. I'm looking forward to seeing you all on Friday with Jason Abrams. We're sending out an email that we have the last day to get registered is Wednesday. It's going to be a great event. Take lots of notes because these are all things you can bring back to your market center and train in your market center as well. Okay, awesome. Keep Ashley and her family and Bashar in your thoughts and prayers. If you want to text her, you're welcome to do that. I just know that you know what it's like being there. And for those of you who are going to help me, if you would just send me a text and let me know, and we'll coordinate with you. But if you could be there by 8 o'clock, that would be maybe just a few minutes before 8 o'clock. But I think people probably start showing up about 8:15, 8:30. It won't get really, really busy. And it said the event was closed out. No, Daniel, the event should not be closed out. We will reopen it to make sure. So, but we
Thank
will
you.
reopen that, Daniel, because
Thank you.
Wednesday is our cutoff day.
Perfect.
But thanks for letting me know. Okay. Awesome, everybody. Have a great week. Love you. See you in the region. Bye-bye. See you Friday.
Thanks, Georgia.
Bye. Thanks, Georgia.